Good afternoon, my fellow Ambazonians. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome, my brothers and sisters. Good afternoon to you all. And welcome. Welcome. Comrade Johnny. Salute, bro. Good afternoon, and welcome, my fellow Ambazonians. Welcome, my people. Good to see you all. Crushy! Comrade Ophelia is here. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, whatever time it is for you, wherever you are. Hello. Kukwa. Hello. Comrade, yes, Muna is here too. Michael LeBlanc, the great guy, is also here. Che Wilson, Comrade Che Wilson. Yes, let me send a shout out to Comrade Michael LeBlanc, Comrade Che Wilson. Romeric is here as well. Silas is here as well. Comrade Silas is here. So today I'll be sending out a lot of shout out to all the great Ambazonians out there, especially for those of you that have taken the time to join us. Yes, welcome everybody. Yes, Silas. Welcome, comrade. Even Crushy is here too. So, welcome, my fellow people. Let me send a special shout out to our people on ground zero. Let me send a special shout out to all our people down in Nigeria and spread across the globe. Good afternoon to all of you on ground zero. Let me send a special shout out to General Big Number, General Qatar, General Caritas, General Spirito. Let me send to all the commanders and the generals on the ground. I send a special shout out to all of you. All right. Pump Down is here as well. Welcome, Pump Down. It's been a while. Hope you're doing well. Welcome, everybody. Today it's the presentation today is going to be incredible. So invite people to participate and join the conversation. This is going to be incredible. So yes. So if you're on ground zero, hello to you. If you're in Nigeria, hello to you. If you're in Ghana, somewhere in Central and West Africa, hello to you. Good afternoon, our people. To all the fighters on the ground, the people holding the revolution strong. I caught all on a cafe for the big work we want to do and for all we. All right. To all the children, the mothers, the uncles, our fathers and aunts. To everybody, I send you special greetings. Yes, Shu Eno. Welcome. Today, the conversation we will focus the conversation on the audacity of leadership and what Ayok Tabe has done to change literally the destiny of the Ambazonian people. So that's today's focus of this conversation. I'll be explaining a lot more what leadership is all about and who you should look at as a leader and who just has a title. So I'll be making some distinctions so that we can start to have this clarity of who your leaders truly are. Those that have the revolution at heart. So that's the essence of my conversation today. This is going to be very impactful, very incredible. So yes, Comrade Michael LeBlanc, the people on the ground are the heroes. You're right. People on the ground are the heroes. They are the heroes of this revolution. The children, the mothers, the fathers, the uncles, the aunts, the boys, and all those that are fighting. Those are the heroes of this revolution. And they hold this revolution. We're just voices we are speaking on behalf of them. Without them, we won't be here talking or having this conversation, right? People in jail, let me send a special shout out to Sisiko Ayok Tabe Julius, the face of the Ambazonian revolution, to Patasang, to Panfor, Let me send a shout out to Comrade Penterence, Comrade Benji, Comrade Nelson, Comrade C. Conrad, Comrade Mancho, and all the other comrades that I've not named. Anyone that's in jail, I send a special shout out to you, to the comrade that I spoke to last night, Comrade Angel. I send a special shout out to you. To all of you, I send a special shout out. So, bless someone and share the message so that we all can have this education, this inspiration, this empowerment, and we can move and elevate our revolution to its final conclusion, which is it's coming on. So thank you for joining. Shu Eno, is there anyone else that's here we need to acknowledge and so that we can send a shout out? Yes. Who else is here? Daiga is here as well. Daiga Pride. Comrade Daiga, welcome. Yes. Welcome. I send a special shout out to you. Yes. What's going on? What up, bro? Welcome, my people. Welcome. We're going to start very soon. We're going to start in about a minute or so. Before we get started. Ooh, all right. You want me to send a special shout out to Sonia? Ntui Valiant, welcome. Yes, welcome. Oh, you okay? And also Don Murphy. Okay, a special shout out to Don Murphy, the designer, our clothing designer, our fashion designer. All right. Rashi. Good morning, my fellow Ambazonia. Who's this? Blissful. Who's this? Blissful? All right, Blissful Can. Blissful what? Kian, welcome. Pan Nips is also here. Yes, Pan Nips, welcome. Special shout out to you, comrade. I see the great work you're doing in the forum. Welcome, my fellow Ambazonians. Hello, Sonia. All right. Crush no distraction. No distraction. Comrade Ketchup Fruit is also here. Great patriot. Comrade, special greetings for all the great work you're doing out there. All right, my fellow Ambazonians, let's get started. We have 30 seconds to ram this up. We're going to start with the Ambazonian anthem and then we dive into the conversation for today. AMBA Freedom is also here. Welcome, Comrade AMBA Freedom. Yes. All right, that's true, Mosiero. All right, welcome everybody. This is very exciting time for the Ambazonian revolution, right? All right. Okay, let's get started while other people will join the conversation later on. Hail, hail, hail this land of glory, we the Ambazonia to pledge our loyalty. Praise the Son, our Savior, who granted us the freedom. Allegiance to the heroes who bore the land with their blood. Glory to the glory, we rise and never to fall. Yeah, in a nation flowing with milk and honey. Glory, glory, glory to the Father for making you a nation, a joy forevermore. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our needs, and your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God be the watchman of this nation. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our needs, and your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God be the watchman of this nation. Yes! Welcome, my fellow Ambazonians. Welcome, my brothers, my sisters. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us on this extraordinary, impactful conversation this morning. And good afternoon to all those on Ground Zero. Good morning to those in North America. Good afternoon to those in Europe. Good evening to those of you in Asia. My name is Ashu Lucas. I am very delighted. I have a sense of, I'm very humbled, and I feel a sense of responsibility and honor to have the privilege to be here and have this conversation. All right, so I acknowledge and I applaud all of you that have taken the time to join us on this platform. This is a different platform. This platform is different from all other platforms because this platform only attracts the 1% of Ambazonians that are objective, that are leadership focused, that are result oriented, that wants the total independence of the Ambazonian people, the 1% that have a focus for the revolution, the 1% that are the most intelligent. So this platform here, we only attract the most inspiring, the most intelligent, the most honorable Ambazonians. That's what this platform is all about. So it's a very unique place for very unique people. It's a leadership and educational platform. All right. So today, I'm delighted to be talking about Siseko Ayok Tabe Julius. For most of you that are watching, you are Ambazonians, or like now we have almost 25,000 people on this that have subscribed to this platform. So there are people from all over the globe. We are also delighted. There is a video we posted just 13 days ago, and that video has been viewed 1.1 million times. So the video has attracted 1.1 million views in just 13 days. So Roshi asked me the other day, you and this your video, right? Anyways, yeah, the reason I'm excited about what that video has been able, the extent of the reach of that video, it is because only on social media do we have the capacity to post, to share a piece of information, and then it goes viral, and then have that effect, that ripple effect, to reach people from 96 countries. You have what? 1.1 million people have watched a video from Bafut in Ambazonia of the lockdown. So this is extraordinary. And that's why social media is the greatest weapon to destroy dictatorships, to transform society. So I'm excited about the reach of that video, but more importantly is the message the video carries, to transmit that message across the globe and attract people from other nations, from other communities, other citizens across the globe to become voices for the Ambazonian people. That's what that video has done. That video of the lockdown in Bafut with Grandpa that we've seen for the very first time. Grandpa showed up, and that video has what, 1.1 million views. That's extraordinary, and that tells you the interest, the world's interest on the Ambazonian revolution. It also, we are also doing internationalization. We're telling the world that Ambazonia, we've achieved dynamic control on the ground, that the Ambazonian people have taken back control of their territory. So that video going out into the world and showing Ambazonia in a complete lockdown, that's what it's doing, to tell the world that the Ambazonian people have taken control over their territory and they have complete dynamic control. And the video is an evidence to prove it. You could see the entire highway being shut down. So this is extraordinary. So we thank all those that participated in sharing that message and have helped to make that video become went viral. So welcome my people. Welcome my people. All right, let's continue. The topic for today, the conversation for today, the focus is Ayok Tabe Julius and how he has changed the destiny of the Ambazonian people. When the Ambazonian revolution or war of independence started around September or the early part of 2016 and evolved to the level of the consortium, it was a civil protest. It was civil, the lawyers and the teachers and trade union making specific demands on the colonial Cameroon government to make some changes within the system so that the legal system and the educational system of the Ambazonian people can be protected, right? As an Anglo-Saxon culture. Well, as you know, things quickly change. The colonial regime of murderers, the motherfucker Paul Biya, launched a war, a genocide on the people of Ambazonia, kidnapped the Balas de Fontaine and the Manchos. Once they do the kidnapping and they began the shooting, the revolution changed. Something radically, rapidly, intensely changed in the Ambazonian revolution. It became something else. There was such a yearning from the people that all they want, they don't want anything to do with the colonial system anymore. They don't want anything to do with the fraudulent union. The people showed such a yearning for freedom. The people showed such a desire to be free. There was such craving. There was such a craving. There was such a yearning for freedom. There was such a yearning for liberation. There was such an outcry, a positive outcry, such a desire, such a passion that was so intense, more than anything we've ever seen before. But that passion, nobody knew how to harness that passion. Nobody knew how to harness that energy of the people. The consortium did it by instituting ghost towns. That was the only way they could harness that energy of the people and send it to produce specific results for the revolution. They did it. It was through ghost towns. But we knew that would not give us independence. Finally, Tassan Wilfred succeeded to leave ground zero and carry the revolution with him into Nigeria. And Barrister Boga Harmony also succeeded to leave. These two leaders, especially Tassan Wilfred, carried the revolution with him to the diaspora. That became a game changer for the revolution because Tassan was chased. And by the way, let me send a special shout out to this man, Tassan Wilfred, who at the time when the revolution was in his hands, and they were Biya was off throwing out these bags of money. They came out to bribe him with 400 million CFA. And he looked at those people, looked at the people that brought the money, and looked at his own people and said, I won't do this. All right? That's Tassan Wilfred. Tassan succeeded to take the revolution to the diaspora. Nigeria became the seat of the diaspora leadership of the revolution. Then came Skakuf. And then the revolution evolved to the governing council of Ambazonia. And through the governing council, Ayok Tabe was made the chairman. That was a turning point for this revolution. This is very significant for the Ambazonian people. For all of you that are watching, please pay attention very carefully. Because we, the Ambazonian people, we have a problem. And our problem is we are confusing who's really a leader, right? We do not know what leadership is. Most people don't understand the concept of leadership and who a leader is. Most of us, we have familiarized ourselves with the notion of a title as that's leadership. When someone is in a certain position or they carry a certain title, we assume they are leader. That's not what leadership is about. So leadership is a leader is someone who has the ability and the capacity to inspire people to take a specific action. A leader is someone who has the ability and the capacity to inspire people, to influence people, to take a specific action, to carry out a specific action to achieve a specific objective. That's what leadership is. That is what leadership is. So leadership is not based on a title or someone's position. It's based on the ability and the capacity to inspire people to take a specific action to achieve a specific objective. When Ayok Tabe showed up in the Ambazonia revolution and became the chairman of the governing council, what Ayok has was those two qualities of an impactful leader. He has the ability and he has the capacity to mobilize the people, to harness that hunger that the people had. Ayok was able to tap into that hunger and harness that hunger and then channel that hunger into something. And while he was the chairman of the governing council, Ayok was able to reach all the generations in Ambazonia. He was an intergenerational leader. From the kids to those that are 100+ years old, Ayok related to them. There was a connection between Ayok and the people. Ayok had that charisma, has that magnetic connection with the people. His humility, the way his personality has an effect, an attractive effect on the people. The people trusted him, he trusted the people. There was a bond. The people saw a leader that embodies the true spirit of the Ambazonian people. A leader that has both the assertiveness, the confidence, the charisma to articulate, the ability to communicate effectively, the ability to influence the thinking and behavior of the people to achieve a certain objective. Ayok has that at such an extraordinary level. That's what made Ayok one of the finest leaders that Ambazonia has. Ayok was like God sent at the time he joined the revolution at that leadership level. At that level where he could use his position, his influence at the governing council, as the chairman of the governing council. But there was something unique Ayok did, unlike other leaders that have declared restoration of independence. Ayok didn't just came out and declare restoration of independence. Ayok put the Ambazonian people on a test. Here was that test. He called for a day for the Takumbengs. That was the 22nd of September. Spoke to the people, called on the people on the ground, on the homeland, and in the diaspora, and said this: on this day, the 22nd of September, we want every child, every boy, every girl, every man, every woman, we want all the youth of Ambazonia to rally behind the grandmothers, behind the women, the Takumbengs. Because at the time, there was this fear of what the colonial system would do if the young people that went out. So I said, okay, let the women lead, let all the boys be behind and following. So it turned out to be one of the most mobilized days in the history of Ambazonia. The 22nd of September, we saw millions and millions and millions and millions of Ambazonians from every village, every town, every bush house, every quarter, every community, every city, Ambazonians all over the territory. From the north to the south, everywhere in Ambazonia, there was this massive turnout where Ambazonians, from the youngest child to the oldest grandmother and grandfather, we saw that I've spoken about this beautiful grandmother that came out with her cane and holding her peace plan. I think she's about if she's not like 100, or she's close to being 100, or probably in her late 90s. She's bent over with her cane. There was such a joy for her to become part of this transformation. There was such a joy in that grandmother that in her lifetime, she was able to witness the transformation of the Ambazonian people. She was able to experience there was such a breakthrough. That day was a breakthrough. Was the day the Ambazonian people finally showed themselves, showed la Republique and the international community that forever the occupation of Ambazonia has come to an end. That was the day Ambazonians and their millions and their thousands from all across the territory showed up, came out in groups, singing, chanting. It was such a euphoric moment. It was such a glorious moment for anybody that watched any of the videos. That was very transformational. That was the test Ayok gave the Ambazonian people. If you can prove to yourself, to La Republique, and to the international community that we are one, we are ready, then in a week's time, we can declare restoration of independence. So that became almost like a signatory referendum. It almost became a universal call of the people of Ambazonia to declare for the declaration of their restoration of independence. That was extraordinary. No one in the Ambazonian history has ever had such intelligence or calculation to take that kind of a move that has such global impact. Across the globe, in the West, in every Western capital, the Takumbengs, women dressed in white and with a red headscarf, they were seen in all capitals of the globe, from London to Amsterdam, from Toronto to Washington, D.C., from New York to San Francisco, from Helsinki, to Milan, all across the globe. Ambazonians in their hundreds and thousands, they came out and they also carried out the same activity. They showed the same level of passion to the world, right? That they are ready to break free. They are ready to break through from the yoke of the colonial, tyrannical, occupational system. That day was the day that changed the trajectory of the Ambazonian revolution. Ayok did that with such class, with such skill, with such impact. We've never seen that before. That was when the Ambazonian revolution changed. That was when things were transformed. That was when every Ambazonian, from the youngest child to the oldest grandmother or grandfather, that was the day they were convinced, experientially convinced, that the time has come for the Ambazonian people to have a final separation, to end the fraudulent union and the occupation of Ambazonia. And so that's Ayok's contribution. It didn't end there. 1 week later, Ayok was in Washington, D.C. and solemnly declared restoration of independence to the Ambazonian people. On that day on the ground, we saw a massive turnout, especially the young people. The colonial system responded very brutally. They sent out helicopter gunships and massacred thousands of our young men and women. That was the tipping point. That was the tipping point of the Ambazonian revolution, when the occupational regime went gaga. Also during that time, from intelligence report, that the occupational regime brought in troops from Chad, from Central African Republic, and from Equatorial Guinea into Ambazonia. So Ayok's ability to mobilize the people, to inspire the people, Ayok was a leader the people listened to. They obeyed him, they followed his instruction. Why? Because it resonated with who they are. Ayok's leadership resonated with the Ambazonian people. He's cool-headed, he's level-headed, he's a very humble man, but very tough, right? So Ayok embodies the best of the Ambazonian spirit. So the reason I'm taking the time to explain all these things, some of them you already know, and go into this detail, it is because we are easily distracted. We are so easily distracted, and we get confused. We've lived through the colonial system for so long that we're thinking of leadership using the filters and the prisms of the colonial system, which is leadership based on title. Ayok was a leader of impact. Ayok was a leader, a transformational leader. And Ayok has that gift, that capacity, those abilities to mobilize the people, inspire the people, and then give the people specific instructions to achieve specific objectives. And the people follow through. There was a trust between the people and Ayok. The people saw in Ayok the leader the Ambazonian people wanted to have. And Ayok showed up. That's Ayok's contribution to the Ambazonian revolution. If nothing else, after he declared restoration of independence, when he succeeded, after he gave the people the test and declared restoration of independence, on that day, the restoration of independence that Ayok declared became the most powerful challenge over Cameroon's claim of Ambazonia. Ayok's declaration of independence, with the backing of the people, was a direct challenge to the Bias regime, was a direct challenge to the occupation. And so the colonial system with its conspirators, France Intelligence Secret Services, on that day, they decided to launch a campaign to make sure that they take Ayok down. Because Ayok became the greatest threat to Paul's Biya existence. Ayok became the greatest threat to La République claim of Ambazonia. Ayok became the greatest threat to La République access to Ambazonian resources. So they saw Ayok as the biggest threat, not because he declared restoration of independence, but because Ayok has the backing of every Ambazonian. And September 22nd was that proof for them. So La République felt challenged, the occupational system felt challenged. Ayok became the most wanted person by La République Intelligence Secret Services and the French Intelligence Secret Services. They launched this campaign, and finally they succeeded on January 5th, 2018 to pick up Ayok. They succeeded. La République succeeded through whatever means they use, through their agents, to put all the leaders together, and they pick them all up. You know who your leaders are. You know what Ayok has done for the revolution. So that's a man who's, taking one of the highest risk. It's a risk to take such a task. It's a risk to stand up, stand out, speak, fight, advocate for the people that have been occupied for almost 60 years. It's a risk. Ayok gave a luxurious lifestyle. Ayok gave up a luxurious career, gave up a great paying career, put all those things aside for the Ambazonian people. Now he's in jail. So by understanding all of this, you should understand where we are. The Biya system is not messing around. The colonial system is not joking around. They are not messing around. And they will use whatever means necessary to destroy the revolution, to make sure Ambazonia remain a colony of Cameroon. And Ayok is a challenge to that. And Ayok challenged that. Even when they took him to their military court, he challenged them. That is leadership, Ambazonians. That is someone you can trust. That is a leader you can count on. That is a leader who will not let you down. That is a leader no amount of money will buy his conscience. That's a leader that even if they put a gun on his head and tell him they're going to blow his brains out, if he doesn't change his stand, that's a leader that will not back down. That's a leader that will not blink, as Dr. Cho has often said. Ayok will not blink. Tassa will not blink. Pamfor will not blink. Those leaders will not blink. That's your leadership. Ayok is the face of the Ambazonia revolution. Ayok represents the best of the best within the Ambazonian people. Ayok is one of our finest. Ayok came at a time where the energy of the people need to be tapped into. And Ayok was very instrumental, very successful, very skillful in tapping into that hunger. Ayok was amazing in tapping into that cravingness, that hunger, that desire, that wanting, that passion the people had, or the people have, to break away from the colonial system. That's Ayok's gift to you. Ayok transformed the Ambazonia revolution from just a civil political demand to where we are today. A demand for the restoration of the Ambazonian independence. That's leadership. That's a leader you can trust. That's a leader you can count on. So while he's been picked up, I know there's a lot of confusion within the Ambazonian people. Who is really a leader of the Ambazonian revolution? Well, there is Ayok Julius Tabe, who is the face of the Ambazonian revolution. He embodies the revolution. Ayok Tabe Julius is the face of the Ambazonian revolution. Morally, socially, culturally, traditionally, and it's in leadership. He's the face of the Ambazonian revolution. He embodies the face of our resistance. All right? That's what Ayok is for us. All right? So Ayok is the best of the best. No negotiation. Nothing. All right? Nothing. No negotiation. Ayok will not talk to La République du Cameroon. So don't listen to La République agents. All right? Don't listen to La République agents that will come and deceive you that Ayok is not like that. If you study his leadership style, Ayok is not someone who will blink. Ayok will not talk to Paul Biya about one Cameroon. Ayok will not sit on any dialogue table. Tassa will not sit on any dialogue table with Paul Biya. Pamfor will not sit on any dialogue table with Paul Biya. You need to know what leadership is and what integrity is, what character is. Those are men of character. Those are leaders with integrity. Those are leaders that they rather die than for them to sit on the same table with Paul Biya for one Cameroon. They would prefer for Paul Biya to execute them than for them to go sit on the table with Paul Biya that has killed tens of thousands of their children, tens of thousands of their mothers, tens of thousands of their parents, that has destroyed more than 300 villages, burned everything to ashes, and sent hundreds of thousands of our people to be living in the bushes, others suffering in refugee camps in Nigeria. Ayok will not let you down. Ayok has not backed down. How do you know? Because he's demonstrated this consistently, even while he's in jail. He stood in their colonial system and told them, I am an Ambazonian. I'm not a Cameroonian. I'm not a Cameroonian. I am an Ambazonian. Multiple times. With total defiance. With total defiance. Don't be fooled by the agents provocateurs, by those that have become La République agents, that call themselves pseudo leaders, that are directly and indirectly working with the colonial system to deliver you back to La République du Cameroon. You have leaders in the Ambazonia revolution that are working with Paul Biya to deliver you back. That's why you must know who your leaders are, what they stand for, to defend your interest, to defend your independence. And Ayok has demonstrated for what is done for the Ambazonian people, for what he delivered on the 22nd of September, for what he delivered on the 1st of October. Ayok proved to the Ambazonian people that he's the finest, the best, that intergenerationally they trust him. The Ambazonian people trusted Ayok. They trusted Ayok. And that is something nobody can take away from Ayok Julius. No matter how much they frame him, no matter how much they want to stain his name, no matter how much they want to discredit him, oh, Ayok cannot lead in jail. All right, all those are made up stories of people and leaders, pseudo leaders that have no substance, that have nothing to offer the Ambazonian people. And they believe that the best thing they can do is to tear Ayok down. And by tearing Ayok down, since they have nothing to offer the Ambazonian people, what have they offered you since they took Ayok away? What have they offered you? Nothing. What have they offered you? Nothing. So you know your leaders. And Ayok embodies that. So the essence of my talk is that you need to start to differentiate between leaders of impact, leaders of influence, and people that just have positions. And some of them, La République du Cameroon, injected them into those positions to bring you back to La République du Cameroon, to deliver you back to La République. I will be talking about some of these things in subsequent discussion. The focus of today is to help you to identify, to connect with what you already know, who your true leaders are that can guarantee your independence, who your true leaders are that can guarantee your independence. Ayok is alive. All right? Ayok is alive. He embodies the face of the resistance. Nothing will happen. No negotiation, no dialogue would happen without the consultation. Ayok as the leader of our people, as the leader, the biggest voice of the Ambazonian people. So don't be afraid about La République du Cameroon constituting its monologue. La République wants to do its own monologue. They want to talk among themselves because they have been defeated. All right, and Biya is running away from what will happen next week or so at the United Nations. So that's why they are in a panic mode to call for a national dialogue. Good luck. After they kill your people, after he has killed more than 10,000 Ambazonians, burned down more than 300 villages, sent more than 1 million plus people to be living on the verge of death. More than 750,000 living in the bushes. About 120 living in Nigeria, suffering, living on streets, sleeping on bare floors. They destroy everything you have. And then they tell you, come, let's sit on the table and let's have a national dialogue. You should tell Paul Biya need to go fuck himself. The motherfucker need to go fuck himself. The Ambazonian people will not dialogue with Paul Biya. This motherfucker need to go fuck himself. He won't kill our people. Make them, render them homeless. Cause them so much pain. Destroy entire villages. And has the guts to get up and say national dialogue. This motherfucker needs to be fucking taken down. This terrorist, this dictator needs to go. The Ambazonian people will not participate in any dialogue whatsoever in the name of national dialogue in La République du Cameroon. So don't worry yourself if anyone comes and make noise that Ayok is in jail and Ayok will go to represent them in that dialogue. Ayok is not going to dialogue with Paul Biya under one Cameroon. The only negotiation Ayok and our leaders will authorize will be a negotiation that will take place outside of Cameroon between La République du Cameroon and the people of Ambazonia. And that negotiation will be led by Ambazonian experts. It won't be led by any of the leaders, who most of them are highly compromised. And I will be talking about that because there's a lot of money La République is floating around. There is something going on about 180 million CFA. There is something going on about 180 million CFA. Okay? I'll be talking about that maybe on Saturday. That some leaders have been given a lot of money to kill your revolution. We'll be talking about that. So you got the message, you got the gist, all right? You understand who your leaders are? I think tomorrow I will be doing another broadcast to talk about the next component. Ayok is the social face of the revolution. Ayok is the one that brought our people out in their thousands and millions. On 1st of October and the 22nd of September and 1st of October. So Ayok embodies the face of the resistance. Ayok's leadership, it's a social impact leadership. There is another component to the Ambazonian War of Independence, which tomorrow I will take you through that journey, so that once you connect the dots between the social influence of Ayok Tabe Julius and the other component of the Ambazonian Revolution, then you know we are complete, and you know our independence is complete. For now, that social resistance which Ayok offered the people is not enough to give us independence. What it did was to change our destiny, awaken that sense of purpose in us, help us to know that it's possible for us to be free. And then we demonstrated that through our action on the 1st of October, when we declared restoration of independence, when our people came out. And, you know, they created this breakthrough, this separation, permanent separation between the Ambazonian people and La République du Cameroon. So Ayok was instrumental in changing the dynamics and the trajectory of the revolution. Ayok transformed our revolution from just a civil disobedience, civil unrest, and the actions of the consortium through the ghost town, to a mass mobilization, which our people took physical action and proved their worthiness to restore their dignity, to restore their independence. And that's Ayok's contribution. That's something you and I need to celebrate. We need to applaud. We need to be thankful. We need to be grateful. This is something that should give you hope. This is something that should encourage you, that you have such leaders with substance, with character, with integrity, that will never back down, that will never back out, that will never blink. Trust in your leadership. And Ayok has proved to you is a leader you can trust. All right? That's the conversation for today. I wanted to put out this clarity and help us to gain a sense of purpose and direction, that the Ambazonian Revolution has a steady, strong leadership. All right? Don't be distracted by the agents provocateurs and injected impostors. Don't be distracted. Your revolution has an impeccable leadership. All right? Tomorrow, I'll give you the second component of this conversation. Today was the social component. Tomorrow, I will give you the next component. Once these two components are blended, the Ambazonian independence is guaranteed. It's assured. And that's my message for today. Stay strong. Your revolution has an impeccable leadership. Don't listen to the impostors and agents provocateurs. Now you know and you understand Ayok's contribution to the Ambazonian Revolution. Ayok is the one who changed everything for the Ambazonian people. Tomorrow, I'll take you deeper into that next building block. That is now what the international community is depending upon, and it's counting on us to deliver. And we have the capacity to deliver. So that's the conversation for today. Stay strong, stay safe, hold firm, hold your grounds, We will not blink. May God bless you all. I send out my love to you all, and especially to Russia.